Have you ever said something to a patient and it just didn't come out right and you wish, I thought I could take that back? Or maybe even worse, you said something to a patient and it was just the wrong thing to say and you didn't even know it. I've certainly been guilty of those and you probably have been too. That's what we're going to be talking about on today's episode of the Dental Practice Fixers podcast. It's called Say This, Not That. I'm Dr. Richard Madow, co-founder of the Madow Center for Dental Practice Success, and I'm your host on the Dental Practice Fixers. Thanks so much for being with us. If you want to get even more information, more great practice building tips, information on upcoming complimentary webinars and seminars and deals and all kinds of great stuff, subscribe to our newsletter. You can do it by going to madow.com/newsletter. Every now and then you'll be hearing from me in your inbox, and it's always with good stuff. So pause this, do it right now. Go to madow.com/newsletter, and let's get this even more rocking. Also, since it's approaching the holiday times here in the US, I know everybody could use a little more Christmas cash and Hanukkah gelt or whatever it is you celebrate or don't celebrate. Everybody wants some more cash around the holiday times. And the best way to do that is to sell your dental scrap. But don't get ripped off by the big boys or big girls with their high overhead and quadruple booths at the exhibits and ads in the journals. We love Southern Dental Refining. It's a family-owned business. They pay out more than anyone else I've ever known or ever dealt with. We have dentists using Southern Dental Refining that are getting checks for thousands of dollars just for turning in their dental scrap. So go to madow.com/gold. Fill out some information. They will send you a prepaid mailing label and some other info. You just slap your dental scrap in an old lab box or Amazon box or whatever you got lying around. I think we all have Amazon boxes lying around. I know I sure do. Throw it in there, put the label on, send it to Southern Dental Refining, and you will get the absolute most for your scrap. I guarantee it. You can check them out and send your scrap somewhere else and get an estimate, get it back and send it to SDR. I know you'll get more. So go to madow.com/gold. Okay, let's get right down to it. Some things that we say in dental practices all the time, and there are better ways to say them or do them. And again, I know this as somebody who owned a nice dental practice, and I've been observing over the years in hundreds, thousands, millions, gazillions of dental practices. Let's start with this one. Somebody calls and they say, do you take my insurance? But they're on a PPO or some plan that you don't take. Well, what should you not say? You should not say, no, we don't take that insurance. Now, of course, you don't want to lie to them. I know other consultants out there recommend you say things like, oh, we love all insurances or coming in for a free benefits check when you know very well that you're not in network. So let's just say a patient calls and says, do you take Aetna insurance? Instead of saying no, say something like, well, we're not in network with Aetna, but we can still see you here. We actually see many patients here with that same insurance. And let me tell you how it works. So again, you can see them. So you're not saying no, but you also want to be totally honest that you're not in network, but you can still see them. And you're going to tell them how the whole thing works. But I love boosting it a little bit by letting them know that you have so many other patients with the same insurance that happily come to your office. So do you take my insurance? It's called Aetna. Instead of just saying no, say we're not in network with Aetna, but we can still see you here. We actually see many patients who have the same insurance. Let me tell you how it works. Okay, next in line for don't say this, say that, or say this, not that, or whatever you want to call it. And that is never criticize the work or the treatment or whatever provided by another dentist. Never look in someone's mouth and say, oh, they did a horrible job on this crown. This thing is leaking and the margins are bad and blah, blah, blah. You know, you don't know what the circumstances were when that treatment was done. You weren't there. You don't know how old it is. You don't know how the patient treated it. And even if it is crappy dentistry, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make us look good to throw another dentist under the bus. So never say it's horrible, your dentist didn't do a good job. I was in an office one time, and I remember somebody looked in a patient's mouth and said, this is malpractice. Why would you ever want to do that? Let's be kind to our colleagues. And again, of course, be honest. Instead of saying that, say something like, I wasn't there when this was done, so I can't tell you what the circumstances were at that time, but I can tell you what we're seeing today. And you don't know what the circumstance was at the time, but you can say, I can tell you what we're seeing today. Okay. Patient's a little nervous about something, upset, whatever, trepidatious, to to use a great word, don't say to them it's really no big deal. It may be no big deal to you. You've done 1,000 crown preps. You know how to do them. To that patient, it's the first or second or third time in their life, and they're nervous. So let's make them feel better. Instead of saying, it's nothing. How about, it's totally normal to be a little nervous about this procedure. Please know that we will do everything we can to make you comfortable. And if you're not comfortable, you let us know instantly. Make them feel better. Say, of course, everybody's a little nervous and anxious when it comes to dental treatment, but we'll do everything we can to make you comfortable, and you let us know. Just make sure the patient knows they're in control, they're normal, and it is a big deal to them. Remember, it is a big deal to them. Okay, don't say this. I think you need a crown, or, maybe we can get away with a large filling. Don't be wishy-washy. Offer the best. Offer the treatment that you know is going to work the best, regardless of cost. It might be something less expensive. It might be something more expensive. It doesn't matter. Offer what you know will get the job done. Look the patient straight in the eye and say, I know what the problem is, and this is how we can fix it. Confidence. It's the opposite of wishy-washy. Well, we could do a crown, or maybe we could do a filling, or maybe we can, stick some bird feathers in there and hope for the best. No. I know what the problem is, and this is how we can fix it. Okay. I don't like it when patients get reprimanded for not having good oral hygiene. So I would never say to a patient like, well, this wouldn't have happened if you'd been brushing and flossing like we instructed. It's true, but it just doesn't work. And it makes the patient uncomfortable, puts them down. Nothing good comes out of it. But let's review your brushing and flossing techniques so we can hopefully prevent things like this from happening in the future. It's so kind. The patient knows what you're doing, but let's do it in a kind way. Let's review your brushing and flossing technique so we can prevent things like this from happening in the future. Okay, bingo. Another thing not to say. You look into the patient's mouth and you say, the distolingual cusp of number 19 presents with recurrent care. Don't use dental lingo. I was in an office one time. I remember the dentist was showing the patient an x-ray, like a patient knows how to read an x-ray. The radiograph shows an opacity or translucency on the apex of the distal root. They don't know what you're talking about. Use patient-friendly terms. The back part of your lower right molar has broken off and there's decay and bacteria under the old filling. Everybody knows what that kind of talk means. I know we use scientific lingo with one another to make notes in our charts and speak as accurately as we can with our team and our colleagues. The patient doesn't want to hear it. Use normal language with them. Okay, how about this one? Don't say, we can't do that, or I can't do that. Say, here's what I can do for you. Example, patient says something like, hey, doc, can you give me a discount on those crowns? Instead of saying, no, I don't do that, say, here's what I can do for you. We can do 12 months, interest-free. That will be just $200 per month. Does that work for you? Always make your best offer. I hate to use the word offer. It's like we're in car sales here. But present the best scenario in friendly terms to the patient. Hey, doc, can you give me a discount on those crowns? No. How's that sound compared to, hey, doc, can you give me a discount on those crowns? Here's what we can do for you. We can give you 12 months interest-free. That will be just $200 per month. Does that sound good to you? And if you want to use the Zambito technique, you can shake your head in the yes motion while you're doing it. Okay, how about this one? This could be live on a phone call. It could be on a business card. It could be on a voicemail, whatever. Please give us 48 hours notice if you need to cancel. No. That means it's okay to cancel 48 hours and 1 minute before the appointment. And it's not. So if you're doing a confirmation call, instead of saying that, just say, we look forward to seeing you on Thursday at 2:30 p.m. Boom. We look forward to seeing you. There's no choice to cancel. It's not okay if you cancel. Get the word cancel out of your vocabulary. Okay, let's move on. Okay, this one is on the office voicemail. A patient calls, they get a voicemail that says, if you're hearing this message during normal office hours, it means we're currently treating other patients. No. We're currently at lunch. No. The phone needs to be answered every single time it rings during normal business hours. I say this again and again and again. Yet, when I do my mystery shopper calls, which we're about to do, during normal business hours, I'd say between 30 and 50% of the time, the call goes to voicemail during normal business hours. No, No voicemail. Here's how you answer the phone. Thank you for calling Reisterstown Family Dentistry. This is Hope speaking. I can help you. Answer the darn phone every single time it rings, even during lunch. Okay, one more. This one's kind of philosophical, metaphysical, metaphorical. I don't care what you call it. And that is never say, we've always done it this way. Always say, we're going to try something new. There are always better ways to do things. It doesn't mean you should just go change things haphazardly and take steps backwards, but let's always be thinking of ways to make our practice better, to make our experience better for our patients, to make our lives easier and more fun. We've always done it this way is not a reason to keep doing it that way unless you want to get what you've always gotten. So if you want to improve, things have got to change. Okay, speaking of things changing, we're going to listen to some mystery shopper calls and see if we can change things up in your practice by hearing what's going on in other practices. But speaking of changing things up real quickly before our calls, as you know, at the Maddow Center, we have saved hundreds of thousands of dollars in credit card processing fees because we don't pay that overage percentage. No, we don't. We pay a low, flat monthly fee because we use Stacks. And you can do the same, just like thousands of dental practices are doing. You can use Stacks, S-T-A-X, Stacks, in your dental office for your credit card processing and just pay that low, flat monthly fee. Go to maddow.com/save to learn more. They can even tell you if you will save when you switch or not. They might say, it's pretty rare, but they might say, stick with what you got. They probably won't, because just about every practice will save. And then it's great because once everything's set up, it's on autopilot. You never do anything except save money every month because you're not paying that percentage for your credit card processing. Okay, that's Stacks, maddow.com/save. All right, let's move to our secret shopper calls. Let's go over here to Command Central and bingo.
Dental office, hold on a second, please. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, how may I help you?
Hi, quick question for you. I'm just getting dental insurance. It's through Prudential, and I want to use that, but I don't know a whole lot about it. So I'd like to learn how that works. And also, do you have Saturday hours for new patients?
Yes, we do. The only thing is that on Saturdays, we don't do checkups and cleanings. Checkup and cleaning has to be done Monday through Friday, but in the future, if you need any services, any other services than checkup and cleaning, then we can do it on Saturday.
Well, how do I know if I need any services if I don't get a checkup?
Well, the first visit, we have to do checkup and cleaning. So that one has to be scheduled during the week, but we have late hours.
Okay, but you're taking new patients, though.
We take in new patients.
Right.
And about your insurance, the only insurances we accept, any insurance that's PPO plan. So make sure that you're getting PPO plan.
So you don't take regular insurance, just PPO plan?
Well, there is no such thing as a regular insurance. Each insurance has different plans. There is the HMO plans, there is DMO plans, there is PPO plans. So the only plans we accept here is a PPO plan.
I mean, my plan's just traditional dental insurance. I think they told me it's better than a PPO. You don't take that?
Okay, so probably we do take it. Okay. As long as it's not HMO or DMO.
Got you. But I can't come in as a new patient on a Saturday.
Well, you can come in as a new patient on a Saturday only if you come with a certain tooth. If you want to do complete checkup in a clinic, which is always recommended to start with, then it has to be Monday through Friday. But we have late hours. We can schedule as late as 6 o'clock.
Got you. Okay, well, thank you so much for the information.
No problem.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye now.
What exactly is going on in this office? First of all, I think it was hilarious that she said, we only take PPO insurance. Obviously, she's a little mixed up, but something I don't think she was mixed up on is that they will not see a new patient on a Saturday. They will not do an exam and prophy or an exam and perio diagnosis on Saturday. Well, it seems like that's the day you want to do it the most. If you're going to have Saturday hours, why not open them to new patients? I don't know. Maybe they couldn't get hygienists to work on Saturdays. Man, in my practice, we were only open one Saturday a month, sometimes two. But when we were, I had 3 hygienists rocking it. We saw not exclusively, but we like specialized in new patients on Saturday. It was a great way to get new patients in the door. Then if they needed extensive treatment, that's when they were going to take time off of work or adjust their schedule or whatever. But many people didn't want to take time off work for their exam and prophy. So we stacked the Saturdays with hygiene like crazy. Not sure what was going on in that practice. Man, but that was epic fail. And then, of course, she didn't offer the appointment. And she said, well, you can come in on Saturday if you're in pain or something, whatever. That just made no sense whatsoever. But there we are, flying on the wall in a dental practice. It's crazy. It's fun. Let's do another one.
Thank you for holding. This is Julia. How can I help you?
Hey, quick question for you. At what age should a child start seeing the dentist?
We can see them up to a year old.
So at a year old, it's okay to bring a child to the dentist?
Yes, we can just see and get them comfortable. A lot of the times, if it's too upsetting for them, it might just be like an exam, and we can try again in 6 months. But usually we can see children if they're a year old.
Great. My kids are 8 and 2 now. The 8-year-old, of course, has seen a dentist, but the 2-year-old has not been yet. So you think it's a good idea to bring her in?
Yes, and then if she's too upset, we can always bring her back in because we don't force anything that day if she's too uncomfortable.
Okay, great. And you do see kids there, it sounds like.
Yes, we do.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for the information.
No problem. You have a great day.
You too. Thanks. Bye.
What?
Bye.
Okay, again, the number one mistake made on these calls, of course, is being nice, being kind, but then not offering the appointment, which she made no attempt to make the appointment. She also made it was like her expectation was that the 2-year-old was going to have a horrible appointment. Say like, oh, well, they can come in and if they scream and kick and puke, then we'll just do it another time. It's like, why set up the expectation, put it in the parent's mind, which then, of course, they transfer to the kid that the kid's going to have a bad experience. I know a lot of people don't like seeing children. I loved seeing kids in my practice, and this is a cliche, but it's true. Being kind to the kids is the gateway to getting the parents to come into your practice and then them telling the other parents in the neighborhood. So I love seeing kids. I thought it was very valuable. This practice will never get a chance to do it because they didn't offer the appointment. And they set it up that it was going to be a horrible experience. Okay, then. Let's do another one.
Can I help you?
Hi, kind of question for you. I'm pretty sure I need a couple crowns and some gum treatment. And I know that's going to cost a few $1,000s. So what kind of options do I have to pay for that?
Okay, do you have insurance right now?
I do not have insurance.
Okay, we have this thing. We have 2 things, actually. One of them is what we call his VIP plan. And that is where, give me 1 second. Hey, what's the name?
Ryan, C-R-A-N-E.
Perfect. All right, give me 1 second.
Excuse me?
Okay, sorry.
That's
okay, the first one is the VIP plan, and that is more of a, it's a discount plan, and you pay depending on how, I don't want to say, okay, how intense you're needing your teeth done. Like there's just things that we have, and it's called, like you get your regular cleanings, and then we have a more intensive type of cleaning that focuses on like different sections of your mouth. And depending on how bad your teeth are, how much care it needs, the regular ones would be it's $23 a month. You pay $99 down, and then they take out $23 a month on like a debit card type thing, and then you get free x-rays, free cleanings twice a year, and then 25% off anything like major. So like your crowns would be 25% off.
Okay, and how much is that? How much is that a month?
It's $23 a month.
$23 a month, okay.
And then from there, depending on what all we have to do, we have this thing called eye care, and it's like a different way to just make payments while you're getting all your dental work done, if that makes sense.
No, well, I don't understand what that is. What does eye care mean? I thought my optometrist had that, but what does that mean? When you say a different way to make payments, what's different about it?
You pay 30% of your bill every month. No, wait. You put 30% down right then and there.
don't know what happened exactly there. I think the call got cut off or she hung up on me. I don't know what was going on. It sounded like somebody in the background was coaching her and then she just hung up. What was going on with this call? She was giving me all this information that I didn't ask for, totally getting it wrong. Somebody in the back is coaching her. She's confused as hell. And then she just hangs up on me. I don't know. And look, with caller ID these days, she could call me right back, but she didn't, of course. I'm really confused. This is going on in practices all across the country. I'm sure she wouldn't have offered me an appointment. All she did was confuse me. So that was kind of a big disaster. I mentioned earlier that about 30 to 50% of our calls during regular business hours, operating hours, whatever you want to call them, go to voicemail. And I don't normally play the voicemails, even though my little machine records them, but I really, really enjoyed this one. So I thought I'd play this voicemail for you. Give it a listen and see how you would feel if you called this practice and got this voicemail.
Thank you for calling. If you have a medical emergency, please hang up and dial 911. Sorry we missed your call. Our office hours are Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5, and Friday, 8 to noon. If you are a registered patient and have a dental emergency, such as pain and or swelling, you may reach Dr. If this is not a dental emergency, please call during office hours or visit our website to contact us electronically to request or change an appointment and obtain additional office information. Please be advised, this recorder does not take messages.
Okay, first of all, the call was during the hours that she mentioned several times. Secondly, she just was so nasty and off-putting. I felt like I was being yelled at by a Marine sergeant or sergeants in the Marines. I guess so. Yeah, Sergeant Carter. It was just so cold, unfriendly, not warm at all. And then I love how she says this machine does not take messages. I mean, come on. Everybody knows that it does. And secondly, if you're going to have it on during regular business hours, you better darn sure take some messages. So just a little tip on what not to do on your voicemail. Make it warm, make it inviting. Don't say stupid stuff like the machine doesn't take messages. And most importantly of all, don't have to use it during regular business hours. Okay, I think that's going to be all for the mystery shopper calls today. Say this, not that. How much fun was that? Check out our newsletter. You can get a little bit more of me. Get me in your inbox every now and then. Go to Matter.com/newsletter. I write funny stories and relate them to dentistry. You'll get info on products and webinars and seminars and all kinds of great stuff. So do it now. Go to Matter.com/newsletter. Save money on your credit card processing every single month like we do by going to Matter.com/save and get some holiday money by sending your scrap, but don't get ripped off. Go to Matter.com/gold and get the most you possibly can. Hey, thanks so much for being with me on this episode of the Dental Practice Fixers. I'm Dr. Richard Madow, co-founder of the Madow Center. We're at www.madow.com, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks.